Stewie? Stewie, help Mommy out and just open the latch, huh?
Welcome to Quahog, the town where nothing is off limits, especially when it comes to the Griffin family. But there have been moments in Family Guy history that have left us all reeling with shock and disbelief. From controversial jokes
Previous owners were murdered in this house.
Whoa, buddy, quit drilling. You already struck oil.
to boundary-pushing storylines, the show has never been afraid to tackle taboo subjects. So sit back and buckle up as we count down 15 of the most darkest episodes in Family Guy history. But before we start, welcome back to Unsettling, where we talk about the darkest moments of your favorite cartoons. So make sure you subscribe for videos like this weekly. Number 15, Stewie tries to kill Lois. Murder and mayhem at the Griffin house. It's like a horror movie in reverse. In this episode, Stewie goes on a murderous rampage in an attempt to rid the world of his mother, Lois Griffin. As he carries out his plans, he discovers a dark and twisted web of deceit that leads to shocking revelation.
What are you doing with a gun?
Something I should have done a very long time ago.
This episode is dark not only because of its subject matter, but also because of its morbid humor. It's an uncomfortable yet strangely amusing episode that serves us as a reminder of the power of hatred. Number 14, Bonnie might just be a criminal.
House. The foundation is totally out of whack. I mean, the whole house is slanting down to that cliff over there.
Can you open the sliding door?
We've all seen Joe show nothing but love to his wife Bonnie, so it actually shocks me that she wants him dead so bad. This scene is quite harsh, though, as it shows Bonnie purchasing a house from Brian, but not just any house. A house with a crooked foundation that tilts towards the bottom side of a mountain. She's even seen pushing a wheelchair out the balcony just to make sure she has success killing her husband, which is insane.
I'll take it.
Number 13, Stewie gets pregnant.
And inserted it into my temporary uterus through my fertilization device.
Oh my god, you're serious! People are gonna think I had sex with a male baby and then got him pregnant.
Anyone who watches this episode finds it absolutely disturbing. From it being a male pregnant to it being an infant and a male that's pregnant by a dog. The episode makes most viewers especially uncomfortable, and some even rallied to get it removed altogether. It's just blatantly wrong and not right.
Have a placenta? Whatever comes out, save it. I want to eat it. Oh god, they're crawling all over me. How many are there now? 4, 5, 6, 7?
Number 12, Chris has a breakdown. This episode shows just how an average worker can get stressed out and start to act out of the ordinary. And that's what was depicted in this scene where Chris and Peter switch spots with each other, and Chris becomes very aggressive, violent, and emotional throughout it. It eventually ends tragic as Chris starts to have a heart attack.
Oh my god, I think Chris is having a heart attack.
Luckily, he was able to be saved from this, but it was pretty bad.
I never sets to work in the morning.
Chris, have you been drinking?
Yes? Have you been aging? I want you two to do it right in front of me, and I'm gonna throw...
Number 11, Meg calls out her family for their abuse. Now, this was bound to happen. I mean, no one is really nice to Meg.
Dad! What is it? What's going on? I heard a noise. Is somebody downstairs?
Oh God, Meg, you startled me. I'm sorry.
What the heck?
So it was only a matter of time before she called everyone out for the verbal and mental abuse she gets on the daily. It started with her attacking Lois's parenting skills and calling her out for being a very bad mother.
Okay, I'm not the perfect mother. Who is?
Oh, not only are you not the perfect mother, you're the furthest thing from. From the moment you get...
And then she switched the energy to Peter.
You have no education, you have no interest, you just do whatever reckless thing you want to do, whenever you want to do it, without regard for anyone else.
This isn't as much as a dark moment as it is a proud moment for anyone that's a fan of
Yeah,
Megan.
that's exactly what he does, because he's a selfish, fat idiot.
You shut up, all of you.
I didn't ask to be in this family.
Number 10. Peter's plane get hijacked. Plane and hijacking are never good in the same sentence. And when they are, they're bound to cause controversy. And that's exactly what this episode did here. After the 9/11 attacks, it's just not smart for any show to do this. Although, they continue to do so. Number 9. Stewie's injury cover-up. We all knew the Griffins are capable of being sinister, but I've never seen anything like this before. So, the episode shows Chris and Meg running when they bump into little old Stewie, sending him falling down multiple stairs. They then proceed to hide his head injury, and eventually Peter finds out, and then he joins them.
Pain smell.
Okay, I don't care what you say. He's really hurt, and I'm gonna do what I should have done in the first place. I'm taking him to the hospital.
No. I got one last plan, Meg.
And tries to pin the body on Lois, so they decide to throw his body out, and Lois runs him over. And then she does the unthinkable.
Oh my God.
She tells Peter to help her pin it on someone else. Altogether, this episode left many fans feeling very disturbed.
Peter, we have to cover this up.
Yeah, but what?
Let's put a hat on him to cover the wound, and then let's get some makeup and draw eyeballs on his eyelids and find a way to pin this on someone else.
And it just goes to show just how bad of a parents Lois and Peter actually are.
Yeah. Oh, look at my little cowboy.
Come on.
Number 8. Quagmire's assault on cheerleader. Speaking of Stewie, he's not so innocent either. In season 3, episode 14, he decided to tie Sydney up before a cheer game and throw her into a bathroom. And apparently, no one's seen him. But no, it gets worse. The episode ends with Quagmire finding Sydney in the bathroom.
Dear Diary, jackpot.
This struck a nerve in many fans. They didn't approve of the pervy, predatory joke and thought it was just downright wrong.
Dear Diary.
Number 7. Brian kills Chris and Stewie Squirrel.
It's first steps, and we've got to film this.
I know.
There's two type of people in this world. Ones that loves squirrels and ones that keep them as pets. But getting a pet squirrel is never a good idea if you have a dog named Brian. Right after their squirrel starts to take its first few steps, it took one step too many.
Tell people.
And nothing but blood is splashing around as Stewie and Chris looks in complete shock. It's a pretty gruesome scene and also a pretty gruesome way to go for the squirrel. Number 6. Brian and Stewie trapped in the bank. Brian and Stewie have been on many ventures together, and they have a fan base of their own. A dog and a baby at a bank, it's totally normal, until the door shuts and locks them both in. And eventually they start fighting with each other because Stewie wants Brian to eat his poop. But as the episode continues, it gets pretty dark with this duo. And Brian even starts to open up about his suicidal thoughts.
How come you have a gun?
Talk about a crazy day locked in the bank. Number 5. Better Off Meg. Meg has a fair share of dark moments as she's one of the characters that just can't escape it. She can start a dark list herself alone. But in season 18, episode titled Better Off Meg, it takes it as one of her most darkest moments yet. Chris has Meg kidnapped in order to maintain his popularity. And throughout the episode, you see Meg go through multiple things before she gets to the point where her life flashes before her eyes.
They say your life flashes before your eyes when you die. I wonder what I'll see.
What's sad is she actually wasn't in any of the flashes. But that's not it. The scene concludes with Meg trying to make a blood pool to slide out.
Out on. This can be in the highlight video.
Blood is leaking and she's unconscious. It's pretty disturbing to watch. Number 4. Brian and Stewie gets killed in Vegas. You know what they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But I think Family Guy's creator took this too literal on the episode when Brian and Stewie teleports and travels to Las Vegas. In the episode, it's two sets of Stewie and Brian. One set is living their life, having the time of their life, and the other set is having a miserable time. They lost all of their money and they ran into a loan shark that's out to kill them. The thing is, they're both in the same universe. This episode is especially gruesome because it shows Stewie getting shot.
I'll kill you! No, kill him! He's a baby. He won't even remember he was alive.
You son of a bitch.
And Brian committing suicide by jumping off a balcony.
Yep. 1, 2.
So yeah, it gets pretty dark in Vegas.
3 hours by Archibald Meat Pants.
He's dead.
Okay, well, either way, I'm getting paid and somebody's getting torn open.
Number 3, the Brenda abuse.
Call them? They were called!
Oh, now you're calling me a liar in front of this cat?
I got another cat.
For some fans, they won't forget the story of Quagmire's sister Brenda, or her story as it hits close to home for families that actually experience abuse or have witnessed a loved one go through it. In the episode titled The Story of Brenda Q, it shows many harsh moments of Brenda being physically, mentally, and verbally abused.
I'm so sorry.
His soft, gentle humor connects effortlessly with my mainstream sensibilities.
Although it did raise awareness to the real-life struggles of watching a loved one be abused, many viewers found it very hard to watch. The episode actually ended with Quagmire having to kill Jeff, which is Brenda's boyfriend, but not without a very brutal fight that almost left Quagmire and all of his friends dead, which I can see how that could send mixed signals to the watchers. Number 2. Lois Brother is a serial killer.
So he has pictures of himself strangling fat guys. That doesn't mean...
Sometimes you can be so oblivious to the destruction that your loved ones actually cause. And Lois is no better. In this episode titled Fat Guy Strangler, Lois reveals her brother will be staying with her in hopes for him to get back on his feet after being in the asylum. Not a good idea. In fact, Lois becomes so in denial about her brother, it's quite sad. Like, there was literally a ton of evidence, including someone telling her, and she is still in denial.
Coincidence?
What about the half-dead fat guy in the corner?
Patrick tried to kill me.
Well, maybe it's a different Patrick.
Lois!
Okay,
It ends up with them having to search for him in the woods and him almost killing Peter.
Frick!
Ah, crap. Guess we lost him. Well, nothing left to do but finish this sentence uninterrupted.
But eventually he was caught and put back in the asylum where he belongs.
Ow!
Okay. Ah, you missed! No, I didn't. That's for rolling up the damn window when I tried to jump into the General Lee.
Number 1. Brian's gruesome death. Brian has become one of the key characters in Family Guy. Some fans only watching the show just for Brian and Stewie. They've been through a lot, so it tore fans apart when Brian was struck by a vehicle.
Brian, look out!
It was quite sad to hear Stewie let out such a terrifying scream for Brian after that. Him seeing his pal like that struck many watchers. The scene ends with the family saying goodbye and Brian thanking them for a wonderful life.
My God! Brian, no!
I can't believe it. You really... Damn it.
This actually lasted for quite some time until Stewie went back in time and saved his dear old friend. But for the moment, it was pretty sad to see Brian go like that.
You've given me a wonderful life. I love you all.
Family Guy has always been known for pushing the boundaries of humor, and these episodes up here are some of the darkest and most twisted the show has ever produced. From dark twists on beloved holiday classics to murderous rampages, these episodes are a reminder of the power of dark humor.